All right, hi there, Mark here, and you are tuning into session number 19 of the Epic Personal Trainer podcast. No need to adjust your audio settings. I think I'm getting a cold or something, so my voice is a little bit different today. But anyway, how are you? How are you doing? Hope you're well. Now, in the last session, I'd given some pros and cons about being a personal trainer, and it was a part of helping potential trainers with a few things to think about before they make the jump from being a corporate employee going into the fitness industry. So if you haven't listened to that, check that session out. It's number 18, and it takes you through a process on how you can make that switch, how you can make that jump. Now, about some of the cons that I gave in that session, some trainers are DMing me and asking about this list and some of the other issues that they might run into when they are starting as a personal trainer. So what I thought was in this session, it'd be good to talk about some more. And now, instead of making the switch from corporate or not, we'll put it in the context of why a lot of trainers quit, right? Because these are the main reasons that you are going to have to overcome and consider and plan for if you're starting out, or even if you're already a trainer, but maybe feel like something is holding you back. It could be one of these things. So I'll be talking about the top 5 reasons I see personal trainers quit and hopefully give you a couple of suggestions to, help avoid them. So if you're thinking about becoming a personal trainer or already are one, you can think about these pitfalls that do cause many, many trainers to quit. Now, on the homepage of my website, if you have a look, the first thing you'll see is a statistic, right? And that statistic is that 90% of personal trainers quit their new role within the first year of being certified. Now that is massive. Probably can't think of another profession that's like that. And many of the following reasons are going to be a large part of that. Okay, so I'm going to talk quite a bit today. It's a slightly longer session than normal. And to be honest, there are still so many other reasons we could have included that didn't make the cut. So let's go through some of the most common ones and try to give some solutions to these issues so you can do as much as possible to make sure that you don't fall into that really shitty 90% of trainers quitting within the first year. All right, so let's kick things off. And these are in no particular order. And with number 1, the first one is that many trainers just don't earn enough money to sustain themselves as a personal trainer. There are a lot of potential reasons for this, so I'm going to just brain dump a few here. So firstly, many trainers mentally kind of think of themselves as just a trainer, when really they should be thinking of themselves as a business owner. But at the same time, you're never really taught anything about business on any course that you've done, your personal training courses, your CPTs. You're never told that this kind of mindset would really help. And, this even applies to trainers if you're in a gym or employed. Maybe you're sitting there thinking, in your gym, so it doesn't apply to you, but it does. Okay. It's best for you to have that mindset as well, because you kind of running a business within a business, right? The second business being the gym. So you can help grow your client base and fill your calendar by having this kind of mindset. And by changing your mindset to one of a business owner, you'll approach your work in a slightly different way. And, your thinking will open up to all the different things that are needed to help you actually grow a business. It especially helps with getting out of this mindset of just, focusing on sessions. Another reason for this is that many trainers use gyms as a starting point, a stepping stone to something different in the future where they may have their own business. So it's best you start learning about business right now and practicing right now while you kind of have that little bit of safety net of the gym. Start working towards it all now. Another reason that trainers don't earn enough money is that they're undercharging. And this is something I've done and fallen into this trap loads throughout my career. As a new trainer, you quite often think maybe it's going to be a good idea to charge less at the start to, help get your foot in the door, get things going. And, in time you intend to increase your prices, but you never get around to increasing your prices because trainers get scared that if they increase their prices, they will lose the clients that they've picked up. So don't do that. Don't get in a race to be the cheapest. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a few minutes. So I guess we can actually have a session about how to increase prices and get a way to do that maybe in the next session. So anyway, Pricing is going to be a big issue for many. Trainers also look at the price they have to pay for being in a gym as an issue. Now, this happens whatever kind of trainer you are. If you're freelance or employed, doesn't matter. You know, the possibilities are you think the rents are way too high or the gym takes too much of a percentage. So trainers leave that gym blaming the reason on why they never earned enough money was that the gym takes too much. And that's just generally not the case. The fact is that gyms should take most of the cut, considering all the work and the effort and the leverage they have. And trust me, I've seen this from both sides. Okay. I was a trainer for years and now I help run a gym. You got to keep in mind that most commercial gyms, especially, can survive without trainers, but a lot of trainers cannot survive without a gym. But the real reason that the gym takes most is that they pay for everything you need in terms of equipment and maintenance. All right. They give you an instant market, which takes away a lot of the headache for you trying to find new clients. And any amount of members that they have in their membership is a massive asset that they can leverage. So you as a trainer should see that they provide and maintain equipment, they pay all the bills, they perform all the marketing to get member leads. They have sales teams that are there too to convert those leads, and then they can get new members and congregate all these people that are already interested in fitness, health, wellness into a single space for you to take business from, for you to have first dibs, for you to get priority on. So they're putting everything on a plate for you, and that is going to cost money. So if you are in this sort of situation, make sure you see this as an opportunity to take advantage of instead of thinking that the gym owes you something extra. The potential is there for you to earn and for you to earn really well and be successful, but obviously only if you are good at what you do. So to get the pricing right, one thing is for sure, you do not want to get into a race to the bottom. Now that means try and avoid discounting the price that you want to charge so that you can undercut other trainers with the aim of getting more clients. Because this way, you're going to need volume for your business to work. And that is a lot of work as a personal trainer. Remember that it's about the money you make, not the number of clients that matters. At the end of the day, would you prefer to work 5 hours a day or 10 hours a day for the same amount of money? So you need to be comfortable with what you're being paid. Otherwise, you'll start to resent what you're doing. You'll start to resent your clients. You'll be working hard for such little money that you're just not going to last long. It's not going to be worth it. Now, if you're in a gym, some gyms may tell you what to charge. They might have a structure that you have to follow, and that's fine if you're happy with it. But if not, you may need to do some research as to what rates are common in your area, in your gym, for people that are at your kind of level or experience level, all these kinds of things. But there is no real solid rule, to be honest, for what you can charge. Ultimately, the market will decide if they are willing to pay your prices. So you can charge what you like, as long as you can deliver on value that is worth more than what you are charging in the eyes of your clients. So even if you're charging a lower amount, if you can't deliver value that a client thinks is more than what they are paying, then even that price is going to be too much. So whatever you do charge, make sure you deliver the value. Look at ways you can add value to your service or your product that can wow your clients. Find ways to make them think that whatever they are paying is a bargain for them. So once you start off like that, in time, you can look at increasing your prices, but in a structured way. And like I said, probably do a session on this soon, actually, if not in the next one. Now, next up, the second reason why many trainers quit within the first year is because they lack people skills. Now, I'm a huge believer in the opinion that personal training and the fitness business as a whole is a business and an industry that is built on relationships, and it thrives when it's like that. And the vast majority of good trainers, if you look, will be good with people. They have a passion to help people. They build rapport easily. They have no issues talking to strangers, and they're very confident when they speak. And something that is really underrated is that basically you need to be a likable person. People can't teach personality. It's just the way it is. Clients need to have confidence in you and that you can help them. And if you're not, or can't speak with confidence, then it will become a bit of an issue. And if you're not likable, then people aren't going to hang around for long. Very shy or timid trainers tend not to last long either, especially, in a freelance kind of gym environment. You need the ability to sell, and that is part of the game. And, it is a game of confidence. Without that, no matter how good a trainer you might be, you're going to struggle because you can't get clients to show how awesome your training is. Now, there are a lot of introverted trainers as well, and I fall into that category. We don't have that issue, but this whole thing is a continuum, it's a sliding scale where the trainers that fall more to the end, the lower end of introverted or shy, they're going to struggle. And like I said, I was like this when I first started, especially as a tennis coach and then as a personal trainer. It kind of came back when I started as a PT because I was in a new environment, a new industry, and having to go out and get clients. It was pretty daunting, to be honest. But for me, I just sort of stubbornly stuck at it. My confidence grew over the years, and now I'm able to speak on a podcast. So, what do you do if you're a bit too shy and feel a bit uncomfortable going up to strangers? Well, first, I would suggest looking for an employed position at a gym, all right, gym-based job. That'll help take the pressure off you, especially in the early days if you don't have rents and percentages to worry about at that point. It'll give you a bit more time to build your confidence, but you will have to have the mindset that you will at least try putting yourself out there and be willing to put yourself into, slightly uncomfortable positions for you. So you need to see it as a challenge, but also see it as your duty. You have knowledge and experience that can help people. So you're doing these potential clients a disservice if you don't. They need you. And if all that sounds a bit too much, then, you can try something online. Again, employed if possible. Being an online trainer, it'll give you a different approach to how you get clients because there's always that kind of barrier there of being online. Being online also, communication can be more asynchronous, meaning that there's this kind of delay between message and response, and it's not live or in real time. You can get a bit more time to, craft a message, make sure it's right, write an email, or even create a video if you need to. And if you mess it up, you can just delete it and start again, and nobody will know the difference. But that you can't do on a gym floor. So that kind of approach, if you are a bit too shy for the gym floor or you get nervous or a bit of anxiety around that, then online can be a good option. Now, number 3 on the list is that many trainers are worried about a career progression. How can you develop and grow as a personal trainer? What comes next? I literally had the conversation this morning with one of our trainers, Invictus, about this. Now, I'm pretty sure that most trainers do not want to be on the gym floor at 60 years old, doing the same thing that they were doing at 25, right? And I don't blame them. I don't blame you. We had a very good, promising trainer quit earlier this year for this kind of reason. He'd been a trainer for just over a year, and him and his family didn't really know what would come next, how to progress, how to do more, earn more, all the rest of it. Everybody wants some kind of professional growth. So what is there for trainers? Well, actually, there are a ton of options out there, and I'll just go through a couple of them right now. So, assuming that you're starting off as an employed trainer in a gym, which most trainers do, it's also probably actually the best way for most trainers to start off. And as a small side note, and as someone that employs trainers as well as a gym, Invictus, we're not stupid. We realize that we are, as a gym, a stepping stone for trainers that will move on within, a few years to go on to something that they at least think is better and sometimes bigger for them. And it's going to benefit their situation and their career growth. And there's nothing wrong with that. As a gym, we're really good at taking new personal trainers and developing them so that whatever they go into next, I'm pretty sure they're going to really excel at. So what do they do next? Well, most start to make a career as a freelancer, either in a gym or going mobile into people's homes, houses, societies, that kind of thing. This starts to give trainers more control over their time. They don't have set hours, and there can be more choice and flexibility over who they get to work with. Now, although many trainers will keep working with fat loss and transformations, which is mostly what they do in the gym, some may start to specialize in areas such as strength and conditioning or even pre and postnatal. And there's a whole bunch of others that you can do as well. From there, build yourself up as a freelancer. You can start filling your calendar, and when things get too busy, you can think about building a team. Create your own little mini empire with a brand that services a particular goal in a particular area. Now, you're a real business owner. Congratulations. Now, other trainers have gone on to open their own studio. Again, in addition to their own revenue from personal training, they can earn more from other freelancers that pay them to use their facility, or they can build their own team and employ their own team to work there with the clients that they are still getting, but can't fit in their diary. Some trainers might go into management, either for a personal trainer agency or a gym, while others maybe will start to run their own gym. One of the most popular these days is to become an online trainer as well. Now, there are pros and cons to being an online trainer, as there is with anything else. But some of the most popular reasons becoming an online trainer is that you can really scale a business when it's online. You're no longer trading money for time, which can allow you to earn more through being able to scale and serve a bigger volume of people at a bigger level. And there are lots of different ways to be an online trainer as well. Since COVID, virtual training is more popular. Then there's other newer ways, such as memberships, that are really picking up too. Those kind of online training is not done in real time either, so you can be far more flexible with the work hours. One last area that a lot of trainers can progress into well, and it's one for more experienced personal trainers, is moving into education and the training of new and aspiring trainers. Helping the new guys get started and running courses or workshops can be a lot of fun. And, you're helping shape and improve the levels of the trainers, and you're helping improve the industry because of the contact that you're having with them. Now, any of these options are a great pathway to a career in the fitness industry that starts off mostly with gym-based personal training. And they're all options that allow for plenty of growth in terms of, professional development, the sort of job satisfaction, and of course, earning more money. Now, where are we? We're up to number 4 on the list. Okay. Now, number 4 is that when many trainers go into the industry, they kind of have the wrong expectation of what being a personal trainer is and what the kind of day-to-day role is like. And this is a multi-layered issue, to be honest. So first off, being honest again, this isn't the most popular fact, but that's because trainers don't like doing it, But the quickest way for you to build a client base is to work split shifts or break shifts. So, this is working a day that looks something like 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. in the morning, and then around like 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the evening. Now, this means that you're training people in the 2 most popular times of the day that people like to be trained. You just Google any gym that you know of, scroll down a little bit, and on the right-hand side, you'll see a small bar graph titled Popular Times that shows you how busy a gym typically is over the course of that day that you're looking on. And for 99% of gyms, you will see a peak in the morning and then a peak in the evening. And it doesn't matter whether you're gym or not, like that. The reason it's like that with the gym is because that is the times that most people like to train. So while this work schedule of split shift is optional for personal trainers, the fact is that these hours, they kind of suck, to be honest. They're pretty antisocial. They're pretty annoying, because you're starting early, you're finishing late. If you want to optimize your week as well, the 6-day work week is also great, but that can leave little time for you. So most trainers don't realize this. And when they're working in a gym, this is how things are normally set up because it's kind of optimized to fit as many people in as possible. But after a few years, trainers can get fed up of it. And that's one of the reasons why they move on. But if you want to get busy as a trainer and you want to do it fast, these kind of timings is the quickest and easiest way to do it. But most trainers don't know this when they get into it, when they're getting started. But no matter what way you do it, the hours you work are almost always going to be when other people are not at work. So early in the morning and or late in the evening is kind of the norm, even when you have flexibility because you're a freelancer. I mean, it is possible to run a 9 to 5 business as a personal trainer or whatever hours you choose, to be honest, but you probably need to accept the fact that you might take a little bit longer to fill up your calendar. There are exceptions to this. So unless your target market is a little different, where maybe they also have very flexible times or maybe they don't work, pre and postnatal is a good example of this, then it becomes a little different in terms of the hours you may have to be working. Another thing which I always find surprising about personal trainers, probably about 90% of trainers I've ever talked to have never hired a trainer themselves before they themselves become a trainer. Having a trainer would really help with you forming the right expectations before you start your role. Add to this that almost zero courses have any kind of case study or opportunity to work with a real client. This means that most trainers are going into their first job totally blind as to what personal training sessions might look like. With zero experience of any of this, how can any kind of quality sessions happen? Another warped expectation that many trainers think maybe they're going to be working with beautiful people or super fit clients, athletes, or celebrities, something like that. The fact is that most clients are going to be middle-aged or at least approaching it. They're generally going to be overweight and difficult to work with because, they have work and family commitments, and they're always going to prioritize their work and family over their personal training sessions, which they do even their health sometimes. So just from these couple of examples, and trust me, there are more, you can see that there can be more than a slight difference between what a new personal trainer might think the job looks like and the actual day-to-day reality of it. So how can we, fix this? Well, first off, if you're a trainer, hire a trainer. Hire a trainer if you want to become a trainer. Even an online one is a great idea. Look, don't get all ego on me, okay? Everyone, and I mean everyone, can benefit from hiring the right trainer, and that includes you. These days, pretty much any top performer has a coach. Top bodybuilders in the world have a coach, top tennis players, top footballers. The right coach can really elevate your standard a whole lot. But you also need to watch and learn. Don't just go through the journey as a typical client. Pay attention to how they organize things. How do they talk to you? What kind of language are they using? How do they structure their business, their programs, their sessions? Talk to them about the industry, how they got started, how they progressed, all these kinds of things. And even better, if you have the ability to, you can sign up for an internship that will train you and show you from day one how things really work. An internship is probably the best way to go if you can find a good one and are able to afford it and spend the time doing it. This is because while you're on an internship, you're probably not going to be earning any money. In fact, you'll probably be paying to be there. But internships will quickly help you learn more in a month, more than most courses can manage. And it's all extremely relevant to you and your future career. So internships would be awesome. Finally, number 5, the last on the list, and one of the biggest and most common problems of why many trainers quit is that most CPT courses just do not prepare you properly for the day-to-day reality of being a personal trainer. Now, what they do, they do really well. But there are a couple of issues that mean there are too many trainers who are almost being set up to fail once they get their first job. At Invictus, we spend the best part of a month training new trainers that are already certified so that we can fill in these big knowledge gaps. There are really important things missing from most CPT courses, such as how you do consultations properly, how to sell yourself, communication skills, and how to actually teach and exercise. Even if they are in the syllabus, it's never in depth or detailed enough, and it's not given enough importance, basically, so it may as well not be there at all. They don't teach real communication skills, how to talk to clients, how to set boundaries to kind of condition clients, which helps them to stick to the process, which in turn helps them build the right habits and the routine. When I was learning at university, we had to work with a client for 12 weeks as a case study, just as like one small part of the course. And this is a really good idea, and I wish most courses did this. Believe it or not, there are some courses out there that think they can train you within a week, and you will be ready to take on clients at the end of it. I mean, come on, that's just hyperbolic marketing tool to get new business. It's not real. Any good trainers coming from a course like this will probably already be experienced and will already be a good trainer to begin with. No week-long course will take a fresher and make them good in a week. It's just not long enough. Also, you'll see the quality of trainers coming from these different courses are going to be night and day. And, as somebody that interviews a ton of trainers, is clear from like the first 5 minutes. And while there are obviously some really good courses, the majority are just too easy to pass. The bar for trainers is set so low, anyone can become a trainer with just a very basic level of knowledge and understanding. Now, until some authority steps in and changes things, it's up to us as trainers to have that kind of self-standard, and for employers also to set the standard. But as a trainer, you need to have the right mindset for this. You need a learner's mindset, a curiosity mindset, and realize that getting your CPT award isn't the last piece of the puzzle. It's actually the first piece to help you get going on the right path. There is so much to learn in this profession that you will never know it all. But that's one of the good reasons why being a personal trainer is so great. And with the right mindset, you'll never get stale. You can always progress and you can make yourself a little bit better every single day. Internships are another great way to overcome this issue with CPT courses. Also hire a trainer, which I also mentioned before, but also working in a gym, which, we mentioned is a great way to start out, is also a really beneficial way to get over this. Because if you can find a good gym with a good team of trainers that you can learn from, that's going to be really effective to help fill that and realize what you need to do as a trainer. But at the same time, a good gym with a good bunch of trainers is pretty hard to find. Another way to avoid this is why I started the Epic Personal Trainer. Now, I know, shameless self plug, but to be honest, I made this podcast and I create a solution, and I would be an absolute idiot if I didn't give it as a recommendation here. I wanted to create another way for trainers to learn, to be a part of a community, and to come together to support each other in a new and effective way. And in a way that wouldn't cost much money, to be honest. And I wanted it to be complementary to your CPT courses. I'm not trying to reteach you stuff that you may be taught there. I want to help build on what you learned, fill some knowledge gaps, and also provide continuing support after all the great work that you did do with your CPT course. With many courses, once you're done, you're done. There isn't a whole lot of interaction, help, or support after in the areas that you're going to need it most. And you can get all of this in the Epic Personal Trainer community. There's courses to help you learn, like-minded trainers to connect with, and to get the help and support that can make a difference. Now, trainers generally don't work together enough, nowhere near as much as they should. But by working together with trainers in the community and having the right mindset, I truly believe that your chances of becoming more successful are going to really increase. And in the long run, you will definitely avoid being in the 90% of trainers that have to quit within the first year. Okay, so we're done for today. I hope this session has been helpful for you. That's it from me. But before I do leave you, if you could be so kind, please go ahead and leave a review on your favorite podcast listening app. It'll help get some algorithm love so that more and more people can discover the show. And if you like this session, take a screenshot and share it on social. Don't forget to tag me on Instagram. My handle is @MarkDevaney, so I can also reshare that. And if this or any other session might help a friend, a teammate, batchmate, or colleague, please help share it with them so that we can help as many trainers as possible. I want to give a special shout out as well to Anaga and Arundhati. They were sharing last week. I really appreciate it. Now, don't forget to subscribe to this show so you can get notified of every session as it's released. Take it easy, and I'll see you in the next session.